You are color-coded.
I have my own lot.
You have hue.
Human. That is called human.
Hata kama
sikatai, hata kama nimeitwa gig kupiga picha, like I've come for photography, don't call me mtu wa camera tafadhali.
Okay, there's someone who will be like, oh, we need so much, but basically that's what you do. Like it's a glorified name of house help or production.
House help haizi kuwa producer.
Haizi kuwa producer. We, mama ndio producer.
So
we are empowered.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. So the producer has the bigger picture, the overall picture, right? Then the director has the
picture producer.
Yep, yeah.
That is what the producer wants.
Yes.
Something like no other.
Yes.
Why Beyond the Timeline podcast, you ask? One of my biggest challenges in my learning curve has been coming across quality content to help me elevate my skills. That is why I decided to create a space for up-and-coming, intermediate, and even pro creatives to come and learn, engage, share with people from all over the industry, be it commercials, documentaries, film, any genre that you engage in. This will be a space where you can come learn from friends that I'll be interviewing, tips, tricks, and gems that I'll be sharing here. So join me and let's create a home where we can both share, learn, and elevate our creative skills. Karibuni. I am your host, Creative Stan.
And I'm Irene Mangai. Karibuni sana. Actually, I did not come up with the name, but I like the concept of this podcast.
We'll be going deep into the tiny bits of production and post-production and pre-production, and also inviting experts.
Yes.
We call them experts. So we'll be inviting...
Yeah, okay, experts would be the right word, or just our colleagues in the industry, basically.
Yes.
And people who inspire us and maybe look up to, and people we've worked with, basically. Also, the other reason why we're in this podcast is because that's what we do. We do production. So I think we'll dive into it, what everyone does. Mimi nakakwa, mimi kwa editor. Setrana. Hey, nakakwa fit like this. Hey. But there's a time, Setrana. I was about to say there was a time I was a production assistant, which is almost like a Setrana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, cause wewe ndio uko tu kila mahali. Like, in other words, mbochwa set. Okay, there's someone who will be like, oh, we need so much. But basically, that's what you do. Like, it's a glorified name of house help or production. Like, you see how you have your house manager?
Ouch.
Yeah, so in production you have that, and yeah, I did that. I was like, and it was a very good...
Watu wa Setrana msisikie vibaya, hiyo pia ni kazi.
Nilikuwa hapo. No, it's kind of fun, because now here's the thing. It's the thing like, okay, that was a very bad... No, it was not a bad example, but basically, if in a household setup, this is for someone who is not in production. In a household setup, you have
That is how you define a Setrana.
Yeah, exactly. That's how else will they define? Because now you have the director who would maybe be the father, and then you have the mother who will be the producer. Then you have children who will be cast and crew. You know, actually cast. Then now house help will be the Setrana, because now the Setrana deals with literally everyone. It's the most underrated job, but it's very crucial.
House help haizi kuwa producer.
Haizi kuwa producer. We, mama ndio producer, because niye maybe ajalipa. Okay, I'm talking in households where the husband is the one who's paying, that are working, the ones that we grew up with, you know, like, you know, those households that are working, that are working, hata kuna zingine that
are not working.
The ones, the structures that we grew up with, number baba, you provide, you pay the rent, you do this, then they have, baba nanunua nyumba, then the woman makes it a home. That's what a producer get. Okay. Yes.
So in this sense, baba is the executive, and then mama is now the producer.
So umewatoa director, mimi nilikuwa na make it too easier.
No, okay. Nilikuwa pia nilete story ya Setrana kukuwa spanner boy kwa another industry kama hii ya mechanics.
Yeah, complicate you, but anyway, you guys got what I meant. So yeah, the Setrana is, it might seem like it's not the most high job, yes, in a chain, but that is the one job that you actually deal with everybody. There's someone who's like a head of department, like maybe the DOP, but that DOP necessarily does not deal with the cast directly, does not deal with the producer directly, but set runner at a deal kwanzia producer hadi driver hadi catering, like it's a very crucial job. Yes, I was not saying it like in a very sijitesei ninasema tu
sawa.
Yes. Sasa ongea juu, what was the other thing that you wanted to add?
Nothing much. I think I've touched about it because I was just talking about the spanner boy kwa industry ya nini kukua bado set.
Who is a spanner boy?
Spanner boy ni mtu wa mkono.
Tinika to set runner.
Exactly. Ndio nasema ukimleta kwa hizi industries zingine then tunamtoa kwa hii nini yako ya house help, tunamleta kuwa spanner boy. Kwa hiyo. Na
kama ni girl mbona unakuwa kwani
wewe unataka kuniambia kuna spanner? Okay, spanner woman, spanner girl. But yeah, boy. Well, cause for so
we are empowered,
which is true, which is good, but for so long
guys, I'm sure cause kama
no, do we say tumetoa mpaka story ya shamba boy, saizi ni shamba girl, but we are empowered.
Nini yo? I know, there's some jobs tunachia tu watu wengine.
Okay, sawa. Editing tunawachia basi. Why should somebody sit down and listen to us?
See, so far you're here and we're having a good time, so please stay tuned. Yeah, it's just we have the serious people sitting down in class, and then there's stories. So you didn't know about the things that I've said. Anyway, the reason why you should just stay here, it's because it's gonna be fun, it's educative, and that is all we need in life. We need to learn and have fun at the same time, and that is why we're here, basically.
And also Beyond the Timeline is for beginners, intermediate, and whoever is just interested in learning the ins and outs of production, be it you're in the commercial space, documentary, short and feature films, music videos, whatever it is, we got you here. Like, we'll be breaking down all these things for you to be able to digest and start your journey, or even continue your journey in production.
Sometimes when you start these things, you don't know, you only know for those who went to school to learn about productions, because there's a very huge number of people who are in productions that they didn't even go to school and they're very good, right? Yeah, so as we went to school, guys. So anyway, what I'm saying is that so for those who went to school, you only know what you're taught, and then the ones who didn't go, they learned.
They've taught themselves.
But and then you see the other thing is you only know that sometimes you want someone to talk to or to just exchange notes, like, and then just basically production is such a broad industry. Like, it's so broad. Like, there's a person who asked, but then unajua mu do nini kwa hii life? I was like, who's mtu wa media? I'm like, what is mtu wa media? Like, I am not saying mimi si mtu wa media, but
wewe si mtu wa media.
Sijasema like
kwanza, coming back to that, if there's something I have hated all through, and probably that's why I went into film, or I branded myself as a film editor, but I've so much hated being called a camera guy. Like, mtu wa camera. And kwanza there's even more that unaitwa mtu wa picha. I hate that thing. I hate hata kama sikatai, hata kama nimeitwa gig kupiga picha, like I've come for photography, don't call me mtu wa camera tafadhali.
Tutakuita jina wewe ni mtu wa camera.
Use my name.
Mtu wa camera.
Hapana, mtu wa camera I don't like.
Stan mtu wa camera.
Call me mtu wa filamu. Camera
surely unataka mshosho hapo hivyo kwa harusi, my in-laws wako hapo hivyo, mshosho ametoka ushago hapo anaanza kuitana Stan. Sema nitie ule mtu wa kamera.
But kuitwa hiyo jina nilikata. I don't like that name, and
ndio tutangi daktari mtu wa hospitali.
Exactly. Samuita doctor. If I'm a filmmaker, call me a filmmaker. Don't call me mtu wa camera. ama mtu wa picha, picha. Hapana. Filmmaker.
So since umesema utake kutoa mtu wa kamera, sitatuambia udu nini, sio?
Well, interesting.
What do you do?
Ladies first.
You don't do that. But men before.
I'm a full-time film editor and colorist.
But you've said you're a full-time
editor and colorist.
You can see the color. Yeah.
I'm glowing.
Asiongej. Mbona unashuku you have to talk about the orange and green. You're like skin.
I'm talking about a different color. Perspective. Lazima kuwe positive.
I know umeenda huko, but yeah, we can see me color gradiwa.
Anyway.
You are color graded.
I have my own art.
You have hue.
Human. That is called human.
His hue is saturated. Mine is fading into black.
Ngoja unani-enjoy ama unakuwa serious? Because my skin tone pia imeshika. Hiyo ni juu ya colorist.
Mimi nani amesema juu ya skin tone? Mimi nimesema his hue is saturated.
Okay. As long as I'm human, the hue makes sense.
Which is should be saturated. Yes. No, I meant the orange and the green. That's a color, but after bring in the God-given color, which
That's
is very
cool, because
beautiful.
it's me, because it's part of me,
Which
part
is
of the colorist me. Lazima uonyeshe kazi yako. So nasemaga hivyo, show off your work. This is part of my work. Kwa colored, well pumping. Anyway,
yes.
Full-time editor, colorist. I also enjoy water.
What do you mean?
Water. I enjoy water. Walking on water, swimming in water, drinking water, basking in water if you can bask in water. But I just enjoy aquatic environment, and nature as well. That is just about me. Wewe?
Mimi ni mtu. Mimi ni mzalendo wa Kenya.
Wow.
I am a daughter, a sister. Yes, and a friend too, beyond
the timeline podcast.
Yes. You know, I was wondering why the timeline, because the first thing I thought, beyond the horizon.
We are going beyond the horizon, but we start with the timeline.
Very nice, very nice. So today we're here just to learn more about the show, basically, and Stan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to know about me? Okay. What do you want to know about me?
What we do not know.
What
is the best
know?
part about editing, basically? I'm about your job.
Okay, one thing that I enjoy particularly about editing is just that it is the process of putting in together pieces. It looks like a puzzle to me. Like when you're given something and this person or whoever it is, the client, the producer, whoever it is, they give you the project with the thought of what they want to see, but it is not there yet. So you're the one to create it.
Nataka hii.
Yeah. And funny thing is
sometimes they also don't know what they want.
They don't. They have an idea. And the reason why I'm just saying it's an idea.
Once you finish, they're like, this is not what
No. Try hii, by the way, ama tungeenda hivi. And I think sometimes that's where it gets a bit overwhelming, because you find that you've taken your time to bring out the first draft, and then somebody comes up with an opinion that you feel if you had it earlier, you wouldn't have taken all this time.
But they wouldn't know that's the direction you're going. You see now, just to speak support the producers and everything.
Kuwatetea, not support, kuwatetea.
Support.
Kuwatetea.
No, I am echoing producers out there, you understand, directors, you get me?
Hakuna.
So the producer has the bigger picture, the overall picture, right? Then the director has the
picture producer.
Yep, yeah. The production. No, the producer hona overall, including the budget.
Okay.
And then the director has basically what
the
we are shooting, the production itself.
Yes,
the producer has the overall pre, pro, and post
yes.
right? All right. So the producer knows what, like, I am putting in the money, or I am producing this with this agenda. Like, this is the house, this is a structure that I want. So I have this land, prime land.
Okay.
So I've gotten this prime land, and I feel like I've already been told it's a fast selling place. You know, if I put like apartments like this, then now sasa ukianza kujenga, nikianza unataka nini, najua I want to build something that is very like no other, like in this whole neighborhood.
That is what the producer wants.
Yes.
Something like no other.
Yes. And then so the editor comes and starts building, right? So he builds, then the director is the producer is so the director already has given what
the materials. Yes.
Like you have everything. You have all the materials that are needed to build this house. You know, the director does not build the house because they don't know will fix it. It's like Lego. Actually, the best thing is like Lego. Like the building thing.
But okay,
sawa.
Kabla tuende tu mbali.
Utaki tumalize hii nyumba.
Mimi nataka tu kujua role ya director kwa hii nini. Juu sasa producer.
Kwa hii example nilikuwa napeana would be bringing the materials.
Okay.
Yes. So producer will purchase the materials, then the director will go and say this is the material that you want. Like you go to like Furniture Palace and then you're like, I don't want this seat, I want this seat.
Okay,
yes. Okay, and then this seat will go hand in this. Like I think that's what in such a place, in such a concept. In this concept. Yes. So then the director brings it like, okay, fine. So this is what I want. This is what I want. I don't think we want blue. Let's use red. Like all those things. Then now the editor comes and
puts them together
and try and mix the house. But you see, producer aki support easy material, he or she had a picture.
Yes.
The director also, when he was going for this and this and this, he had a picture.
Yes.
Then now we bring it to you.
The editor.
The editor
pia akona picha
na yeye akishaona hizi material
akona picha yake.
Exactly. Sasa producer, once you build, that's when they will be like,
it's not this.
It's not. This is not what we had in mind. Then now you have to reconstruct. Yeah, I think that's the best way for someone who's not who does not understand how production actually goes.
Yes,
I think that would be the best.
Yes,
I can be a good teacher.
You can be.
Yeah.
That means
don't be a hater.
No.
Don't be
you
a
just
hater.
You just said you can be. You should have just said you are a good teacher.
No, no, I'm not a good teacher. I can't be a good teacher. I didn't know. It's this that I've realized, like as we was talking, I have like so many examples.
No, I can make you be a good teacher.
Oh boy. Okay, let us give him
I can make you be a good teacher.
No, you're a good student.
Well,
that makes me a good teacher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
No,
but me too mwalimu. Kwa siku anajua I have this side of me. But that's why I didn't have this side of me.
Sasa Julie kata kutuambia what you do in production.
Oh, but by now please guess. I think guess what I do. I've told you so many analogies. I've explained so many things and I'm talking too much. I mean,
huyo anakaa setrana sini.
Setrana waongeangia ufanya job. There's a difference.
Si ana interact na kila mtu.
Setrana zbeda waongeangi. Kuna time ya kuongea saa ngapi? Ushakaa hapo hivyo umeitwa sijui na nani? Unaongea na with who?
Naongea na AD.
Ai wapi? Na AD sasa anakuambia, "Hey, hujaletea cast sijui nini." And then bado umeletea sijui driver ndio anakuambia tunatoka saa ngapi? Sijui caterers wajafika, like setrana. Sijui there was what that was needed,
what was left, what has not been done. But anyway,
but how about that being, I think when you're starting production, that's the best part. You should start because now you get to interact with all the different departments, and then now you can choose where you want to stick.
On the contrary, I think for me, if you want exactly, no, relax kwanza nikwambie. Personally, I think if you want to get into the film industry, start as an editor, as an assistant editor. And this is my reasoning. You're not
extroverted like me. Yeah.
Well, for starters, I am introverted, very introverted.
I am not.
But this is why I'm saying
I am both. I'm actually introverted at some point.
Why I'm convinced somebody should start with editing is majorly because as an editor, or as an assistant editor, which you get to grow to become an editor, it is easier for you to identify the challenges that go in production or challenges that happen in production through interacting with the footage you have. And therefore, you transitioning from being an editor to a director or a cinematographer is very easy because you already know what you actually need in the post. So when you go to shoot, you know why this shot does not work or why this exposure does not work. Like you already have an idea of what you need when you're not an editor, when you're playing a different role. But you see, yes, I think that's just my idea. What do you think? Jitete.
Imagine after your effort yote, I am actually agreeing with him in this extent. It's very important. Yes, actually, kuna point umesema that I was like, I had a comeback, but now you've said it. Yes, when you understand post, it's easy for you to understand production. Like you already know what a good shot look like, what good lighting look like, what
good acting looks like.
Yes, good story looks like. Like you understand the whole shabam, right?
The gaps in the story and how to fix it.
Another thing is if you're more a bit extroverted, if you're not, because you see an editor is someone who can also work in an office, but a creative office, like enclosed. But now if you're someone who is more like you want to see people, you want things that are, I'm not saying editing actually is very challenging.
We see
like
people.
You
see people.
You see people on screen.
We see people.
Yes. But if you prefer like human, I think start with set runner, and then if you want to go in the camera department, kwa camera assist wanatanga lens, wanatanga jo puller.
Focus puller.
Watu.
Ama grip pia ni essential kutaka kupata experience kidogo.
What is the one project that you've actually just done that's left an impact in your docuvist?
Wow.
Era.
Well, there's a poetry project. The idea was not, it was not an element of docuvist or documentary activism, but it was just a piece. It was just a poetry piece. But the reason why that piece has left an impact in my career journey is because the artist was abducted by the government and has never been seen since, but the video is still there and the message is still there. And so it has a lot of views. It's almost reaching 300,000 views because people go watch it just to remember that artist. So I feel like I connect them to that artist in a way.
You didn't say that you also do poetry.
I didn't. I don't do poetry. I don't.
It just oozes out of you.
I used to do poetry. I used to do poetry, but right now I have a record label where we sign poets and we work with poets now to extend the works that I couldn't do as a poet. I don't say hang my boots, but I just stopped sharing my poetry. I write it for personal reasons.
He does not hang his boot. So I'll not hang my boot about my journey today. So we'll hang it in the next episode. And then I think you should go and watch. Is it okay to say the name?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Do us the honors.
The name of what? Oh, yes. The poetry site. First of all, we've not even talked about tutorials. But anyway, you can go check out Mind Art Studios YouTube channel where we share poetry. Yes. All
right. I think you've known us. You've known what the show is about.
Exactly.
And we've had his journey. So I think the next episode we're going to start with my journey. Yes, for sure. It's been a lovely episode.
It's been real.
Yeah.
Been real.
I've always wanted to say, please like, subscribe, share,
and do what? Delete?
Delete your YouTube channel or delete what? Because they can't delete this.
If you enjoyed this show,
no, if
You enjoyed this show.
Thank you.
Make sure to invite your friends, your cousins, your relatives, your neighbors, and don't forget to
Like, subscribe, share. Bye.
bye.
Yes. What is it? What is it?